I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, August the 18th, 2016. Israel's Defense Minister Avigdor Lieberman announced a new approach yesterday to combating terrorism, while not punishing those not responsible. The new plan was unveiled at a press conference in Tel Aviv. It includes increasing IDF presence in Palestinian towns in the West Bank, from where the majority of terrorists have come from, notating those in red and distinguishing them from villages which have been peaceful, marking those in green, and easing restrictions in those peaceful towns and improving economic conditions there. Lieberman said that the measures would help to stop those who support terror and ease the way for Israelis and Palestinians to live in peace. Haaretz reports that Lieberman also said that he would like to find Arab leaders living in the Palestinian Authority and create a direct dialogue with Palestinian academics, business people, and others, and according to Haaretz, bypass PA President Mahmoud Abbas. Lieberman also mentioned his opposition to the return of Palestinian terrorist bodies to their families for burial, which often lead to riots and incitement to more terror. Yesterday, Israel returned the body of a Palestinian terrorist killed while carrying out a shooting attack in Jerusalem earlier this year. 21-year-old Muhammad Jamal al-Khaludi was buried in a small and private ceremony in East Jerusalem very late last night, in accordance with directives from Israel police. Khaludi shot at a Jerusalem light rail car on March the 9th of this year, critically injuring one Israeli. Israeli security forces conducted a security sweep in the northern West Bank overnight last night and found thousands of shekels in cash, as well as weapons, and made several arrests of Palestinians suspected of being involved in terrorist activities. The overnight raid was carried out by IDF soldiers, civil administration officials, and Israel police. Beloved Israeli composer and Israel Prize laureate Nachum Haiman has died. Haiman was born in Latvia. He immigrated to pre-state Israel when he was 5 years old. He wrote over 1,000 Hebrew songs, and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called him one of the greatest songwriters the state of Israel has had. Netanyahu said the songs that he left behind have planted in our hearts the love of the homeland and people, and will accompany Israel for generations to come like a wildflower, referring there to one of Haiman's most famous works, Kmot Tzemach Bar, like a wildflower, sung by Israeli singer Chava Alberstein. Haiman's body lay in state at Tel Aviv's Kamari Theater since last night. Hundreds attended his funeral tonight. He was 82.
והוא יבין, אני חייתי ביניכם, כמו צמח בר.
Survivors of the Auschwitz death camp are urging judges of the High Court in Germany to expedite proceedings against convicted former Nazis. 95-year-old Oskar Groening, known as the bookkeeper of Auschwitz, was convicted back in July of complicity in the murder of 300,000 Jewish prisoners during the Holocaust. He was sentenced, if you recall, to 4 years in prison. His lawyers have since appealed. And in June, 94-year-old former SS Sergeant Reinhold Hanning, who served as a guard at Auschwitz, was found guilty of more than 170,000 counts of accessory to murder. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison. He also remains free while awaiting appeals. The aging survivors of the camp are pushing for the legal proceedings in both cases to move along, with President of the International Auschwitz Committee, which is a non-governmental group that unites Holocaust survivors, 90-year-old Roman Kent, noting that Auschwitz survivors do not have as much time as German justice. The European Association for the Preservation and Promotion of Jewish Culture and Heritage announced that a record number of countries will be participating in their European Days of Jewish Culture this year. Those countries, 35, include Bosnia-Herzegovina, the Czech Republic, Austria, Poland, Finland, and for the first time, Azerbaijan, among many others. The association is an umbrella group of 6 groups, including B'nai B'rith Europe. The intergovernmental project was launched 30 years ago. This year's theme is Jewish languages. exploring Hebrew, Ladino, Yiddish, Aramaic, and more. Activities kick off September the 4th. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Thursday, August the 18th. At 7 o'clock, a look at the 15th of the Jewish month of Av in the Talmud. At 8, Professor Gil Troy talks about a new Zionism at AIPAC 2016. At 9, a look at the obstacles in the way of a two-state solution. And at 10, the two-state solution is addressed at the Limud Conference of 2016. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, senior online editor for Commentary magazine, Jonathan Tobin, discusses revelations that UNRWA and World Vision charitable funds meant for Palestinian social needs in Gaza were diverted to Hamas for their terrorist activities. That's with Mark Golub on tonight's In the News. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, August the 18th, 2016. I'm Teisha Bader.